morning to you all. Tripathi, members on the dais, and to everybody. Coming from academics, I've taken some freedoms, and whatever I'm going to say is actually the experience that I have gathered by working with a lot of people here in this state itself and across the world. And I thought maybe let me just share with you what are my thoughts into it. And so the first thing that you would notice, I'm asking ICT to go for prosperity, not just development. We have been talking about ICT for D for a long time. I think we should be talking about ICT for P, which is prosperity, which simply means that how can ICT create a wealth creation cycle in the society. And this wealth is not just what you call as the HDI part of it, but also the economic part of it. So how do I ensure that the resources, what called ICT that I have, can actually bring prosperity into the society all across the state, and for that matter, the area that we work with. And which is where I'm again taking liberty of defining ICT as innovate, create and transform. So that's how I'm looking at ICT. How do I innovate, how do I create and how to transform for bringing prosperity to the society per se. And for about 6-8 years that I've been working, there's something which I'm finding people working, and they're saying that this is how they have been working in the areas and still able to bring changes in those markets which are not, as you said, not very developed. And these are some of the guiding principles that we found has made them successful. If you really look at it, essentially that we're talking about something that is ingrained in the society, something that takes care of the local problem, something which is a business model which is scale neutral, which means that it need not be that you're profitable only when you are a particular large size. One has to be profitable even when you are a small size. But while doing that, how am I replicable and how am I scalable? Both these things have to be kept in mind, right? What is important is that how do I ensure that the local resources that are available to us is used in bringing that prosperity. While doing that, how do I take the advantage of the latest technology, state-of-the-art technology that is available across the world and bring it for the betterment of the society per se. So when we do that, it's possible that we will be able to set up best practices which might be emulated by world around. Now this is the guiding principle with which we started, and we studied and we found that these are some of the things that are being followed by entrepreneurs across the world actually, has yielded results which has been good for them per se and also the society in which they are working and the community they are working. So if you look at it, essentially here is what I propose as a model, and this is what we have been working. I've been working about 5-6 years on how to develop a business model. And if you really understand, people are saying that the literature says that while the strategy may remain constant, but your business model need to change depending upon the context, depending on the market that you operate in, depending upon what the challenge that you face. And the core here for this particular thing, why we are saying that if technology has to become the core, and particularly IT has to become the core, how do we make it happen? And therefore it is necessary that if you look at it, there are 3 basic things that we are talking of. Customer, community and a company. There are 3 things that we are saying which becomes the core base model of that. Which is that base model is supported by entrepreneurship on one hand, a facilitator organization, something that makes it happen, and technology coming in, IT coming in and working on that. And this is something which is the core for which an ecosystem needs to be created. And there are 4 components to ecosystem. One is what are the drivers of the business. Second is what are the input that is required. Fourth is what are the processes that one has to get into. And fifth is what are the outcomes that we expect. Now this is something that if we try to look at it, most of the corporations across the world have tried to develop a business model like this. I'm again repeating it, while your business corporate objectives, your strategy may be same, because we operate in different markets, before we operate in different contexts, I may have to develop an ecosystem, a business model which is unique to a particular context, and which is what we have been proposing. There's another thought which has been established in the strategy literature, business strategy literature, which says that I must take a strategic posture which is necessary and move away from resource-based approach. In a sense, that this philosophy says that the resources are available, potential is available, opportunity is available. It's the harnessing of the opportunity that is more important. And therefore one has to move from resource-based approach, saying that if I create facilities, if I create infrastructure, I will achieve it. From that philosophy, one has to move to saying that given that particular situation, how do I make it happen? Which is what we talk about, dynamic capability approach. So how do we build capability? And this is where we are saying that state, academia and industry must come together to make it happen. And broad thought of what each of these parts should be doing is what we are saying. And this is what has been reflected in most of the work that I've been doing with a lot of people here. And in fact, I had an opportunity to become the part of the policy making here in the state, and which is what I've been able to contribute to this. So if I look at very clearly what are the state level actions that are required, one is policy which promotes and supports innovation, which is, I think we are already trying to get into it. Second is create a sovereign fund. A fund which is state owned or state managed, which creates a platform for people to come with ideas and which supports them. Third is, can we look at tax relief for startups? Some sectors might have it itself, but can we look at tax relief for startups? And this is exactly one of the discussions which is going on even in the new policy reforms which is going to come at the center. We need to build district level capacity building organization. Capacity building not just in terms of training as far as the skill is concerned, but also how to ideate, how to find out a good idea, how to become a good entrepreneur. Can we create that kind of a district level organization? And then we are saying that we need state level, sector focused as well as sector agnostic accelerators or incubation centers, which needs to be built across the state, so that as many people can be benefited out of it, which simply means that we need to really revitalize the industry, academia and a state triad. Thank you.